Welcome guys to the third episode of our No Man's Sky playthrough. I'm Tina. Let's see what the game has in store for us today. And hear the information, which system we're in, which galaxy we're in, that I have discovered this. And I will switch to third person here because this is the view that I prefer. I can see my Starship trail. I have a wider field of view. I can see my ship. Now let's press W, test flight controls and thrust to get that first step done. Let's go into first person here. You can press Alt. You can look around in your ship and notice that you don't have feet apparently, but you can look around and see what your ship looks like. Here on the right side, you can see which weapon you have, what your ship is called, what your ship shield status is. Then also in here, as you fly around, you can also tell where the other planets are that you have in front of you. So it will show you right here. So if you are looking for a planet and you can't find it, it might be hidden behind another planet and you just are not capable of seeing it because it's hiding. But this little scanner guy will be able to show you. So clearly there is a planet. And then on the left side, of course, you can also see what the planet's name is that you were on, your name, and of course also how fast we are currently going. You can also go into discoveries and also rename that whole planet. Let's call this New Starticus or something. Why not? You can also go ahead and rename the whole system if you wanted to. Maybe you guys have a nice name suggestion. Let me know in the comments. We're ready to take on our next assignment, which will be Orbital Flight Achieved. Test Starship System. Test boost with left shift. Going a little faster. It's our little booster. The next thing we're going to try is we're going to press space to test our pulse engine. And here we go. Flying with our pulse engine. And here are the two planets that you were not able to see because they were hiding behind this big one on the left side. Awakenings. Answer the communicator by pressing X. Let's press X and see what or who is calling us. Entry 4925B. Incoming transmission. Source. Please identify yourself. I am... Who are we talking to? Identify yourself. Hi, this is Tina. What's up? You are not alone. Follow the... okay. The broadcast ends as strangely as it began. The final piece of the signal appears to be a set of planetary coordinates. Let's import the coordinate data. And with that, we have received navigational data, and apparently it is all the way over there. So if we would fly in this speed, we would arrive in 2 days. But what have we learned? We can pulse jump over there while we're focusing on where we want to go. All right, we are closing in to the planet. Mission destination reached. Land to begin search. Let's land by pressing E. It's the same planet that we were on. Let's look through here and it's showing us target line. And when you look here, you can see that on the bottom it says target sweep mode. If you remember, we were in analysis mode when we were scanning items earlier, but if you go between 1 and 3, you can switch between target sweep mode, and target sweep mode will be interesting for us if we are looking for specific things on the planets. In this case, you can see that all 4 lights are glowing and we are going in the right direction. If we would look a little bit too far right or left, it would show us where we actually need to look and basically tell us to adjust. And the closer we get, the faster the signal will be. We are 100 units away, so it's right behind this little mountain. Let's see what we got here. Where is it? Target aligned. It's over there. Alright, we're here. Take a look. Finalizing signal. Target in range. Signal source located. So this is where we want to go. That, by the way, is a marker that you can put down. It's a little beacon, and you can put it down by pressing E or remove it. If you specifically want to go in a direction, let's say you want to go up this hill, right? Let's go right here. But at the same time, you want to mark the sky, you can do that and have two signals. We're going to remove that beacon again and go towards the signal source. And of course, because I am very curious, subterranean relic, they're called vortex cubes. So let's collect one. There's a couple of them around, so let's collect them and see what they do. So if you hover over them, an ancient object can be sold at a galactic trade terminal. So you can see how much these guys are worth, and you can also see used for trading. So we immediately know that this guy we can just put to the side and we will just sell it. The big difference between, for example, other items here, it says building, crafting, charging, upgrading, refining. Carbon is very, very important for that. Here you can see charging, upgrading, refining as well, upgrading, refining as well. But if you see something that is only used for trading, you can be sure to be okay with just getting rid of it. Here we want to save and chart. This is for us really important information here. So we have discovered this area on the planet. Restore points saved, and we got a navigational data plus nanites. Maybe traded with a cartographer aboard a space station in exchange for usable star charts. Those will be really handy to find specific kinds of buildings, but the nav data we can also use to call in our ship at specific terminals at specific buildings. However, by itself, it can't really do much. Okay, so let's see what this broken technology has for us. The sparking wires of the machine generate a signal tapping out its broadcast into the void. Whoever left the message is long gone. Decoding 16, 16, 16. Entry 4925C. No fuel in. Failed to reach station. Hazard protection low. No choice but to underground deployed base computer. As well as the log entry, the signal contains plans for a base computer and a terrain manipulator. With any luck, the base computer will hold more information about whoever is leaving these messages. Let's extract the plans. And we have learned a brand new building part, a base computer. Required parts, chromatic metal. Okay. Additionally, new technology discovered, the terrain manipulator. Charged with metallic elements. Alright, we need carbon nanotubes and dihydrogen jelly to craft this. My starship is all the way over there. 191 units are not that much. However, maybe I walked a lot farther and I don't want to walk all the way over there to my starship because, you know, there is a hill and I'm lazy. Let's go into our bottom menu again. Let's go to the left to summon vehicles, and here you can see summon a radiant pillar. We can bring in our ship to us as long as we want to spawn it in an area that we can put it on top on. So we can't put it, for example, on specific parts of the buildings, not underground and so on. And most importantly, we can bring it in as long as we have launch thruster fuel in here, which we just ran out of. Do you guys remember the tip that I showed you guys about the plants? When you go into first person, you can collect them. Another tip for you guys is we have buried technology modules right here. You don't know what you guys need them for just yet, but look at buried technology, and sometimes if you're lucky, you can, without even digging the ground, collect salvage data through the ground. Let's see what else we need to do. Log. Establish a base, build a terrain manipulator to tunnel through the ground. Let's look into our multi-tool. And how do we install technology? I showed you guys, if you click into the technology area, it will show you the possible blueprints. In this case, we want to build a terrain manipulator. Let's click on it. What do we need? We need 2 carbon nanotubes and we need 1 dihydrogen jelly. Let's look into our inventory and see what we have. We don't have enough dihydrogen to make dihydrogen jelly, so we're going to need to look for blue crystals. We need 2 carbon nanotubes. We can build that right here. On the bottom, you can see change craft amount with A and D and build 2 immediately. Easy. You can also just hover over it and then click craft more on top of it. This is also one way to do it. So we're going to go into our multi-tool and put the carbon nanotubes in already. Now the only thing we need is a little bit of blue crystals. And we seem to have some over there, and we can even reach it from here. Yay, all right. We didn't even need that much, so this should be enough. Let's see. We needed 40, we have 43, perfect. Dihydrogen jelly done. You can also click this, bring it over to the multi-tool and jump it back in here. And our terrain manipulator is installed. Ta-da! Our multi-tool is a multi-functional tool, and depending on what kind of technologies you install, you will be able to do different things. In this case, we have the mining beam, we have a terrain manipulator, we have a scanner, and we have the analysis visor. Let's look more into the terrain manipulator and the mining beam. So, you guys know the mining beam already. We've used this many times before, and in this case, for example, we're collecting carbon with our laser. You can also see a little button that says switch, so we're going to press that button. So now we have the terrain manipulator, and you will see that our laser color switched to red. Per default, you will have a certain size. You can change the size of this laser and make either bigger of an impact or a smaller of an impact. The size of the laser is super important depending on what you want to do. Let's say we wanted to drill a tunnel to the other side of this mountain. We can do that easily, so we don't have to run over it. Just run underneath instead of having to run all the way up top. For example, you know? Just, you know, because we're lazy, and why wouldn't we? Alright, everything that you destroy in your path, let's say this plant over here that we could have we could mine. If you destroy the ground underneath it, unfortunately, that plant will not be mined. It will just be destroyed, so you won't get the carbon. And let's also say you really don't like the way this all looks because it's a weird hole. You can switch by pressing the alternative buttons. You can either, for example, create ground along a way, right? However, you can also flatten the ground to make it a little bit more, you know, nice and flat for you. Or you can also restore all of the ground and bring it back to what it was. Again, you can change the size of the restoration signal, and the hole will be closed, at least everything that we could reach, and it's as if nothing has happened other than the plants being gone. Let's look into our log again. Establish a base, collect chromatic metal. Use the terrain manipulator to mine copper from large resource deposits. Why do we need copper? Because copper refines in our refiner into chromatic metal. We need to find copper. Let's go into our scanner and look around. There's so many different symbols. You've seen a bunch of red dots around us. Those are animals that we can scan. We have also things like buried technology that I showed you earlier. That will be interesting later. Things like subterranean relic, cargo drops, solar vines. So there's a lot of things to discover. We're going to go through them step by step. However, what we're looking for right now are little diamond shapes. Those are mineral deposits. That's copper. There we go. All right, we're going to tag it so we have a marker to go there. Do you guys remember the deuterium-rich plant? Now, let's combine this with us meleeing and jumping across this area.
Wow!
Got this far just thanks to that plant. We also need some dihydrogen for our launch fuel, if you remember. More sodium on the ground, always collected, always helpful. Sodium also recharges your shields on your ship, so in any case, it's going to be helpful. Oh, we overheated. So whenever your weapon overheats, right, you can see on the right top at the bar, the more you use it, the more your weapon overheats. And you don't even have to mine anything for it to overheat. As soon as it overheats, it just blocks for a second. You can see it getting orange and red, and then heat warning, and it overheats, and you can't use it until it's cooled down, and then you can use it again. So there is no need to panic at all. Ooh, look at that. We have another area over here. Electric trade terminal. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right, let's first of all collect a rusted metal, our best friend. Ooh, that gave us a free ion battery. I will take that. Thank you. What else do you got for me? We have another ion battery. No, we have a microprocessor. That was still the other one showing. Okay. And then save and chart. Found our second area. And as always, if you wanted to, you could go into discoveries and you could rename these areas as well, if you wanted to. So you know what kind of area this is. Maybe this is a specifically cool area to take pictures in. There is a lot of opportunities for you guys to take pictures in this game. If you guys know me, you will see me take pictures on stream all the time. And maybe this is one way for you guys to mark the area. And let's take a quick look before we go to the copper deposit over there. What is this? It's a galactic trade terminal, and you can see a lot of things here. We can buy a bunch of stuff. Everything costs units here. If we scroll down, there is a lot of things that cost a lot of money, and for a lot of things we also don't even know how to even use these just yet. All of the things that you don't know what to do with, let's just ignore those for now. Those will be interesting later on. You can also see that you can buy, for example, Starship launch fuel. And look at that, it's 66,000. And I told you guys earlier, you just need dihydrogen and metal plating to make it. You could even buy metal plating here for 1,000 units. Later on, if you have when you have a lot of money in the game, that will be nothing. You can just buy them in stacks and stacks of 15. However, right now we're not there yet. So let's also look into what else we can do here. We can sell stuff, and if you guys remember, I wanted to sell a couple things in my inventory to get rid of them. Runaway molds. Let's scroll further down. The viscous fluids, we can get rid of them. Let's scale down, and the vortex cube, if you guys remember, those we can also sell. I can also see that we collected a couple of crystal fragments. Those crystal fragments you can just analyze, and those will even give you more dihydrogen. Then we can also make our metal plating, and with that, immediately see our Starship launch fuel is available to be made. We're going to put that aside and use it when we're closer to our ship again. These trade terminals, these ones that are hovering over the ground, are very rare, but mainly you will find these in space, in the space station. So let's go over here. Our copper deposit is right around the corner. Let's see what we have. This might actually be one of those terrible examples of what the hell game, because there's nothing here. So what do you do if there's nothing here? We are going to switch to terrain manipulator and look around, and you'll see that there is indeed nothing here. So this is a perfect example for the team of Hello Games working on the game constantly, and sometimes you will see a deposit somewhere where there is nothing. Maybe there used to be one, maybe accidentally the game marked one, but don't worry, there will be others around. So we're just gonna ignore this guy and look for the next one. Copper deposit right over there. Let's go all the way over here, and on our way, of course, we're going to continue collecting our dihydrogen crystals. We're going to continue collecting our carbon. On our way to the copper, I found buried caches. Let's see what this is. It's clearly underground. It's buried. So let's switch to our terrain manipulator and dig into the ground. Let's open it up. What will it give us? Mineral record. All right. What does that do? Okay, let's analyze the data. And what did that do? It gave us some nanites. If you're not sure what something gave you, usually when you exit out, it will give you a little bit of information with the pop-up on the left side. All right. Copper deposit, here we come. Oh, and here we go. All right, this time it shows us some deposit area here. And oh no, it's another bad example. It's an unpure area. I mean, it's good that I can show you guys the different kinds, but come on, game. There's 3 different possibilities. whenever you find deposits, either you don't find them like the first one we did, or you find an unpure one like this one where a lot of it is actually just stone and not a lot of it is copper. We are looking for a copper deposit that is full of copper here. Anyway, we're not going to say no to this little bit of copper that we did find, and we're going to make sure that we have our right beam selected. And what we're going to do is we're going to, say it with me guys, use the small laser. Smaller is better. I'm going to use a small laser to get the max amount of copper in this deposit. And this goes for any deposit. Why is that so? Because in this game, the question is, how many times do you hit the area with your laser? The more often you can hit it, the more stuff you will get out of it. And even from this very unpure, silly little area, we will be able to get a lot of copper out of it just because we're using the small laser. And I know, it takes forever to get all of this out, but believe me, it is really, really worth it. All right, I think I got most of it out of this area. Even though this was an unpure area, I want to show you guys how much copper we got. 565 from this unpure little copper area. If any of you guys try to get yourselves some copper from another area, you will be able to see that with the bigger laser, you will get less from a pure node than you have from an unpure node with the small laser. So let that be a lesson. So one big thing, the terrain manipulator is charged by either ferrite dust or pure ferrite. You can also use magnetized ferrite if you have some, or silicate powder, which we constantly also collect while we are mining anything in the ground anyway. While we are repairing the ground, like I showed you earlier, that doesn't cost us anything. However, if we mine anything, it does give us silicate powders. And all we need to do is refine this copper with our portable miner. So we are going to need a lot of different stuff along the way. Where the hell did we leave our ship? Over there. It is 701 units away. So remember how we brought our ship back here? Unfortunately, it's deactivated. It says launch thrusters is 0% charge. 25% at least required to summon. Womp womp, everybody. That is why I always tell you, you need to keep your launch thrusters fueled up. We could have just summoned it here, but now I have to run all the way over there. Over time, we will also install some technology that will make our launch thrusters a bit more efficient, so we will need less fuel to charge them in the first place. Ooh, look at that. There is a bunch of oxygen plants over here. A lot of bitey meanies. Close in. Bitey meanie. Closer. Collected. Go closer. Collected. Thank you very much. It was nice to be in business with you. Thermal protection falling. Alright, did you guys know that my thermal protection was falling? Interesting. The other day I was playing on an extreme planet on stream, and we would constantly get the message thermal protection falling. So we need 3 radiant shards. Leave me alone, thank you. Okay. Ow, 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 ow. Oh my god, can you stop telling me that thermal protection is falling? This is unbelievable. Thermal protection falling, thermal protection falling, thermal protection falling. Because I did not have any ion batteries, nothing. I was absolutely unprepared, and there was no cave inside, and constantly the computer would say thermal protection falling. So, did you guys know that my thermal protection is falling? Thermal protection falling. Oh my god! Hey! You guys were like, Tina, by the way, your thermal protection is falling. Are you aware of that? I'm like, oh really? I was not. Tina, your thermal oh, Tina, you're dying. Did you know that my thermal protection is falling, guys? What gave you that idea? Hello, hello, my streamer is dying from thermal protection. Thermal protection falling, by the way. Thermal protection, my ass! Let's run down here to our ship. There's also I was gonna be the one running. Why are you running? Unbelievable. Go into our inventory, and we can recharge our launch thrusters. It took 2 batteries to fully recharge our launch thrusters. We can also make sure to have more ready to go. So for the next time, we are prepared. As you can see, the deflector shield, the Starship shield, also recharges with sodium and sodium nitrate. What we can do is make sure to take some of this, for example, half of it down here in order to be prepared to repair our ship's shield when necessary. What do we need to do? We need to put our portable refiner down wherever we can. For example, here. Go in here, put in our fuel, and put in our copper. And the copper will bring us to chromatic metal. That will give us a 2-to-1 ratio chromatic metal. Okay, and our chromatic metal is done. Let's put that back into our inventory. Whenever you pick up your portable refiner and you still have some fuel in here, you don't need to worry. When you pick it up, you'll see that you get that carbon amount back, and you can also see that you get the portable refiner back. It will be added back to your inventory while we're taking care of everything else. Rusted metals. The base computer claims a site for construction. Find a suitable area and deploy the base computer. Access the build menu with Z. Alright, here we go. The base computer is ready to be built. And now we can put that down wherever you want to. It doesn't really matter where you put down your first base. You can have 400 bases, and you can always put one down and then pick it back up and put it somewhere else. Let's put ours... Ooh, this is a big cave. How about we put our base over here into this huge cave? I can't even see everything in this cave. This is a cave, right? This is not like... Oh, it looks like a cave. I can't even see everything. We're gonna put this here. That's pretty awesome. Let's actually not put it here after all. Give me 2 seconds. Let's jump down here. Whoa, this is a huge cave. Okay, we're gonna put our base over here. All right. Let's take this and put it here. And the cool thing is, if you put it down and then you collect it again, it will be in your inventory, right? So you can place it somewhere else if you wanted to. If you put it down and interact with it and register the base, and you want to delete the base computer and its materials, the chromatic metal, will be gone. Establish and construct a base, find a suitable planet and deploy a base computer. Use the beacon to register your claim on the site and begin construction. Okay, let's talk to this one. Search in cartographic archives. Universal Archive search reveals no prior claims on the site. Sonar test confirms site is suitable for construction. Claim site. Yes. And this site will be ours. Beautiful. And now that we have established a place for our base, we're going to build a base together. And apparently this is going to be a cave base. Really excited. I've always wanted to have a cave base. And there is a couple of rules that come with cave bases, but we're going to look into that together. I can't wait to put a couple of lights in here. It's so dark, I can barely see anything. And I will see you guys in the next episode to build our base in here and see what the habitation program has in store for us. Now I have to sneeze. Ah! Where is it?